Hey y'all, so this video I'm making for women who want to get their hair locked, or they're thinking of going natural, or they're thinking of doing a big chop. This is for you, because I've been there in all the stages, and I know whenever I consider doing one or the other, I did a lot of research. I talked to a lot of people, so I'm gonna try to put everything in one just to tell you what my experience was like. Um, so I've been natural going on, I want to say, my daughter is 8. So I was pregnant with her, going on like 9, 10 years. Um, so I can say, if you decide to do the big chop or even get your locks, you need support. And the reason why I say that is because there are going to be days when you don't feel like yourself, you don't feel pretty, you don't feel whatever, and you're going to need supportive friends and you're going to need supportive family. If you don't have either one, not saying you can't do it, I'm just saying it makes the process easier. So when I decided to go natural, I didn't really need any support because, I went natural and then I started getting protective hairstyles to help me transition because I didn't want to initially do the big chop. So, so I attended an HBCU, and my roommate at the time, Brandy, her hair is so beautiful. Her hair grows and it gets so thick, and then she'll cut it all off and then it'll grow back just like that. And I just love her confidence in her hair. It's just like a beautiful thing because she has the most beautiful hair. So she had did the big chop, and I was like, whoa girl, all that hair you got, you did the big chop. She's like, it's just hair, it'll grow back. And I loved her attitude about that. And so when I initially was thinking of getting the big chop, I reached out to her and I just was like, Brandy, like, tell me your experience with, doing the big chop. Like, how did you feel? Like, I wanted to know the good, the bad, the ugly, just everything. And Brandy was like, Jen, like, I'm going to tell you, some days you're not going to feel pretty. You're going to have to just put a pair of earrings on and make the best out of it. Some days you're not going to feel like yourself. And then she told me like the good parts, how freeing it was and how her hair is, growing healthy, doesn't have any perm in it, no chemicals, no anything. So I thought it over, but still I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. Because then you thinking like, how's my head shape? Like, how are people going to take this? It takes a lot to just like step out and cut off all your hair when you don't have to cut off all your hair. And even when you have to, it takes a lot. As a female, our hair is our crown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it means a lot to us. So I still wasn't ready even after I talked to her. So I started transitioning. If you don't know what transitioning is, it's when you have permed hair and you decide that you don't want to get perm anymore. So as your hair is growing, it's growing in its natural state, but then it still has the perm on the ends. And some people can make it through the transitioning period and eventually, start trimming their hair and start trimming their hair, and it works fine for them. I was not one of those people. My hair was just like a mess. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not getting a perm anymore. It had been almost a year. And so I was just like, I'm just going to get my own hair braided, like my own natural hair braided. I don't want any hair braided into it. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to start getting my hair braided, and that's how I'm going to get through this phase. So I went to this shop in Philly. I don't even remember how I found this shop. But I went to the shop and I was telling the girl, like, I'm transitioning my hair and I want to just get my hair braided. I had looked online and saw really good reviews on this girl. And so let me just tell you, if you are a beautician, especially an African-American beautician, it is so important to be honest with your clients. This girl didn't know me, but I appreciated her for her honesty because I sat in that chair and she could have just took my money and did whatever and not cared about my hair or the health of my hair or whatever, but she didn't. Homegirl, I sat in that chair, she looked at my hair, she was playing around with it, and she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, sis. your hair is a mess right now. Like, it's broken off in certain areas because you're transitioning. So your perm hair and your natural hair is like they're in a fight, and nobody's winning at this point. So your hair's a mess. She was in the shop, and she also had guys in there that was cutting hair or whatever. And I was just like, I looked in the mirror and I just was like, just cut it all off. And she was like, whoa, sis. Like, I'm just like, I was like, no, just cut it all off. Before I even like give it a second thought, just cut it all off. She was like, are you sure? I said, I'm sure. So she cut all my hair off, and I'm just sitting in the chair as I'm watching my hair just trickle down my chest. And I'm just like, I'm really doing this. I'm really doing this. So when I was done, it was a brother in the shop. He lined me up. And I was like, why did I get a line up? But anyway, I wanted to feel better about myself. I don't know. I looked in the mirror and I just was like, I can't believe I did the big chop. What the heck is wrong with me? Like, I wasn't even having a Britney Spears moment. Something just told me, just cut it all off. So I did. So this is when you need the support of your family and your friends. I got in the car, and the first person I called was my sister, and we're very close. We're best friends. And I said, Joan, I cut all my hair off. And she was like, what? So I took a picture. I sent it to her. And she called me and she was like, Chip, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. And I just remember her saying that, and it just gave me like a little confidence boost. And she just was like, you did something that I could probably never do. I am so proud of you. And she was like, it looks fine, Chip. You got the head shape for it. You know, you look good. Then I text my friend Brandy, my roommate friend, and she was excited. And then, you know, I got home and it hit me. You got to go to work tomorrow. And nobody has seen you with your hair like this. They've always seen you with your hair done, braids, weave, whatever. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I had just started this job. Hadn't even been there like a full year. But I, you know, developed this really good relationship with my homegirl, Yo-Yo. And I text her and I say, Yo-Yo, I cut all my hair off. I am so nervous to come to work tomorrow. I don't even want to come to work tomorrow. And she was like, send me a picture. Just send me a picture. So I sent her a picture. And she was like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. You look so nice, girl. What is you talking about? You better come to work and you better rock that hair. And she was just like hyping me up. And that's why I said that support is just that extra that you need to get through the process. Because it helped me. I was able to go to work and feel more confident. And then, you know, a lot of people gave me a lot of compliments. And then some people gave me the stare like, you good, sis? It's almost like you gotta ignore those harsh stares. Because, you know, people gonna talk about you whether they like what you do or they don't like what you do. You're gonna get talked about either way. Look at Jesus. They talked about him and he was going around healing people and helping people, and they still talk about him. They wanted him to die. So it's just like, you just gotta put in your head, I'm doing this for me. I don't care what nobody else says. This is something that I'm doing for me. And so I was able to get through that period of the big chop by, you know, the support of my family, my friends. Now, when my parents first saw me, they didn't know what to say. They just looked at me like, I ain't getting no love. No love. But I thank God for my sister, because she was awesome. And my sister-in-law, I don't call her sister-in-law, sister-in-law, Nikki, very supportive. And I forgot to mention, I was in a relationship with a guy who really encouraged me to wear my hair natural. And just, you know, he was all about no makeup, just natural look, whatever. Now, I got to put some makeup on, whatever. But anyway, he was very supportive. And one of, you know, the reasons why I decided to, among other reasons, why I decided to do the big chop as well. And he was very supportive. So if you're a man, boyfriend, husband, and your wife, girlfriend is thinking of doing a big chop, I hope that you can be very supportive and that you don't look at them crazy, or you don't give them negative comments, because it's just hair. It will grow back. And I just, I hope that you will be the support that they need during this time, because it's hard for them too. And they don't need the extra negativity around them. I was able to get through my big chop, and my hair grew and it grew healthy, and I was loving it. Well, then I found myself doing nothing but protective styles. I never wore my hair out because it was always a task to do. It was always like I had to get up extra early to make sure the twist out came out right. I went to work some days, I was crying on the way to work because my hair didn't turn out how I wanted to. It was just a struggle, but I was just like, I was determined. I was just like, I am never getting a perm. Like, I had watched Good Hair by Chris Rock, and it just like pushed me like all the way to the side of never getting a perm ever again in my life. And I couldn't see myself just put myself through that whole smelling the perm, cooking my hair phase, and I just couldn't see it. Let me just put a little disclaimer. No offense to any female who decides to perm their hair, because it's your hair. You do whatever you feel is best for your hair. But my hair never took well to perms, and I know every Black woman says it. My mom messed up my hair with a perm. Well, my mom did mess up my hair with a perm, but she did it because she had 2 little girls, same age. And it was a task to wash her hair, press it, whatever. It made life so much better for her to perm my hair. So I'm not blaming my mom, but my hair was messed up, and it never really grew well. It just was, I couldn't do perms. So if your hair is okay with perms, and by golly, keep doing it. But it was not receptive to perms ever in my life. So yeah, I just wanted to put that little disclaimer there. So I was getting sick of the protective styles. I was first going to get them done, and then I started doing them myself because right after I had my daughter, my hair broke off like all in here. And so I didn't know if it was because, at the time I didn't know it was because of my baby. Me having a baby broke off my hair. I thought that, the girl that braided my hair broke my hair out in a combination with a perm, but I later realized that it was because, some women lose their hair when they have a child. So anyway, I was getting tired of the protective styles. I always wore my hair in braids, and even when I got it straight, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like myself. When I got weaves, wigs, whatever, I just did not feel like myself at all. And so I was researching, like, what can I do with my hair? There were a lot of people who influenced me to get locks. I can't just narrow it down to like one specific person. I can say my roommate Brandy, she had traditional locks, and I loved her locks, and I can't say that I always was like, I always wanted locks, because I didn't. It wasn't until, I started getting tired of protective hairstyles that I was just like, you know what? Maybe I can, maybe I should look into getting my hair locked. So it was my sister-in-law, Nikki. She had sent me and my sister this video of this lady who does hair in Maryland. She does micro locks, and she's known for her grid work. And if you don't know what a grid is, it's like the grid is basically the parts in your hair when you get locks. And her grid work, this lady's grid work was phenomenal, to the point where I wanted to get micro locks at the time, because it looked so neat and it was so beautiful. But she had like a waiting list up to like a year. And so at that time, I just was like, I want them now. I don't want to wait a year. I want them now. But then I just was like, okay, hold on, do your research, find out the good, the bad, the ugly about this hairstyle. So I did my research on YouTube. I conversed with friends who have traditional locks, who have tiny locks, micro locks. And I just started talking to all of these people. And I wanted to know the pros and the cons. So then after I started talking to a bunch of people, I kind of was like leaning towards micro locks and Sisterlocs. I was definitely in that area, like, yeah, this is where I want to be. I had reached out to my mom's childhood friend, and she had Sisterlocs. At the time, I couldn't tell the difference between Sisterlocs and microlocks. And even to this day, I will not correct people when they call my hair microlocks, because to me, it's the same. It's the same techniques. One is a brand, you know, and one is not. But it's the same technique. So I reached out to her and I was just like, who did your locks? And she just was like, I'm a certified loctician. I didn't do my locks, but I can do them. And I was like, say less. Can I meet with you? Can you do a consult with me? Like, I'm very, very interested. And she was like, sure. I went to her. She did a consult with me. And the thing that stirred me away from it was the price. Sisterlocs is very, very pricey. And just the time. But I was sold. I was looking at her locks and where she started from. Her locks were like this small when she started. And now they're like all the way like mid back. And I just was like, I'm ready. Sign me up. So I was like, I want to wait until I get like the beginning of the year, I get my income tax, so it won't feel like it's such a drain. I didn't want to touch my savings to get this hairstyle. So I was just like, I just want to get, I want to pay it off with money that I'm not going to miss. So I use my income tax to get my locks done. I can say when I first got them done, I did not like them. My hair shrunk and, it was these little bitty locks, and I felt like a kid because when I wore my protective styles and I wore my braids, I wore my hair like all the way down here. I've never worn short hair. If I did, it was like down to here. And now my hair is like up to here, and I felt like a little kid. Like I felt like, I don't know. I just didn't feel myself, but I was fronting it. I was just like, I'm going to rock this hair. I'm going to do what I got to do with it. And then, it didn't help that you see some, black women and they're just like, I would never get them itty bitty things in my hair. Girl, what was you thinking? Oh, girl, 28 hours to get it done? Girl, couldn't be me. You paid how much? Couldn't be me. Well, it couldn't be you, and it wasn't you. It was me. So I don't know what to tell you. And big shout out to my boyfriend, because I was not thinking of Sisterlocs until we were at church one day, and it was an older lady who had Sisterlocs, and he was just like, you would look real good with your hair like that. And I was like, ew, I've only seen old people. No offense to my elderly community. I've only seen old people. I live in Jersey. Don't nobody wear Sisterlocs around here. I only know me and maybe like 2 other people that got Sisterlocs. The rest of the people, like that's around my age bracket, the rest of the people are older, like elderly women. And so I was just like, nah, no. But he was just like, from the get-go, you would look so nice with your hair like that. So shout out to my boo for like giving me that boost to even think or consider to get this hairstyle. I know a lot of people don't like to call it the ugly phase, but I felt ugly. So I'm gonna call it what it is, and I'm gonna call it how I feel. No offense to people who say we shouldn't call it the ugly phase. I was feeling ugly, so that's what I'm gonna call it, the ugly phase. I got through that pretty quick. No lie, like the first week was my ugly period, and then after that it was ugly who. Because I was falling in love with the simplicity of locks, just waking up and just spritzing my hair with water, and that's it. I didn't add oil to my scalp until I was at least a year and a half locked, and then up until then I was just using a Sisterlock shampoo and just spritzing it with water in the morning, and that's it. I was loving that I didn't have to bring out this big tote of hair supplies just to do my hair. I was loving that I had to spend less than 5 minutes to get my hair done in the morning. I was loving the freedom of Sisterlocs. And I just loved everything about it. The cons, they can be pricey. The reties range anywhere between $120. The most I paid for a retie was $200, and that's only because I let my hair go for it was a long period of time before I got a retie. So you make sure your reties are within those 6 weeks. whatever your loctician says, so you don't have to pay a ridiculous amount of money. Sorry, I keep licking my lips. Like, I could just get chapstick. But anyway, but then when you think about it, like, people get their hair done every 2 weeks and they pay probably about that much at the salon. So whatever. Now my only regret is I wish I did it like as soon as I got the big chop and my hair was just growing. I wish I would have got it then, because my hair would be longer now. And I don't know. I just wish I would have got it a long time ago. And the majority of women that you meet who have Sisterlocs or Microlocs, they will say, like, my biggest regret is that I did not get them earlier. Like, that's the only thing, because everybody wants length. So I can go into other factors about Sisterlocs versus Microlocs, but that's not what this video is for. It's really just to encourage anyone who's considering getting Sisterlocs or Microlocs or locks in general. I think the key parts are just, if you like have a supportive family, supportive friends, do your research. When you do your research, look for the good, the bad, the ugly, everything, and then decide if you are capable of dealing with that. And then just do it. Don't think about it. Don't get second opinions. If it's something that you want to do, just do it. And it's rare. The only people I see really that regret it is if their loctician is trash, because that can happen, or they decide that it's just too expensive. But I'm telling you, 95% of the time, those people regret it immediately. When they decide to cut all their hair off, or they decide not to get it anymore. It's rare that you find somebody that is just like, I'm so happy that I don't have locks anymore. So I am here to answer any questions you may have, because these are the type of videos that I would look for when I was considering locks. So I just hope you enjoyed this video, and that I encourage you to just, go with what your heart desires. If you want to get locks, just do it. Just do it. And if you decide not to, then don't do it. That's all. That's the only advice I can give you. But I hope that this video helped. And I'm sorry, I should have just got chapstick and stopped licking my lips the whole time. My lips are big and they get dry easily, but I just didn't feel like going downstairs getting chapstick. But thank you guys for watching my video.